Welcome to my class. Today I'm going to introduce two very important trees, and which is very important tree in landscape painting. The first one I'm going to introduce today is the pine tree. Pine tree is one of the most favorable subjects in Chinese painting. It resembles a young dragon called in a deep gorgeous. It stands for the inner spiritual power, potential, strength, and a long life. It is a symbol of longevity. So today we're going to start the pine tree because they have special form by themselves. And first I introduce the branches, older branches. The older branches, they go horizontal way. They go like this. Then second one. So this way you can see how the branches spread out. They spread out like a Chinese character called Gong. Yeah, just like this. They go horizontal way. And or another way they can go is like this. See, they can go like this. So that's the pine tree branches. You can look at that. So the Chinese character so-called like something, some pronounce something gong, but it's this kind of character. So this goes this way, this look like that. So that's their very special branch specialty. Everything's a little special. And their trunk. Okay, trunk is just like other trunk, you know. And there's something that will have a little join, little knots for the older part. But they on the tree. They have something special that looks special. On the tree, they have a scale. See, they just go like that. But always remember, on the joint part you leave empty. Give a right space. But not too obvious, but people know that's you can see. So that's their special structure of the trunk. So when you draw pine tree, you have to do the scan like that. And of course, they have a lot of dots and other moles grow outside too. So that's the trunk difference. And of course, the leaf will be different too. This I just show you in last section. So it's just like a Chinese character painting. And then your brush have to be, use dark ink. Your brush have to be hold very straight and just like a ruler, let them go toward the inside, underneath here. Then second one, closing them. You have to be straight, otherwise you cannot paint. Your brush have to be straight. Then you go again. Just keep going. Then this way you have another set of pine leaves. Yeah, just like that. Just like the character. Yeah, except they have to crossing over each other. But for far away pine, then you use not far away. This is about the middle. Really far away, then much more simple. On the middle one, sometimes you paint not too close. You can just paint like the dot we just learned. That last lesson, from last lesson. You just dot like that. Yeah, just like that way to show represent the leaves. So this is just show you the basic method how we do the old branch. New branch will be the same thing, not too far from the last session, general branches. And then next one, I'm going to do the whole pine tree, put them all together. Thank you. Now I'm going to do the whole pine tree. Just like the other tree, first I'm going to use the light ink to do the old branch and the trunk. Just like I told you before, the pine tree just like a young dragon. So we have showed it by the curve. So this one is supposed to be in the front. We still try to get the front, the back. So this right, this left. So this front, and then we want the back. Now we use a dry brush with dark ink. Dark ink. Then go over Sometimes can show little knots. And the back one, I use a little lighter ink. To go over. Now I use black ink to do the young branches. Have to show the stroke. Always start with a little line, then you come back and you stop. Then use the either lighter ink to other young branch, the back one. And just closing over so we can show some nice one here and there a little bit. So now I use dark ink to do the leaves. You can start at the front one close to you. You always, the stroke has to follow and go back to one point. Always toward the one point, that's where they come from. So always go back to one point. Then you're closing over. See this, we can see the darker in the middle. That's what they want to see. Just closing over. Because that's what the nature is. See, when I do the branch, you can see. Some kind you can leave a little branch open, it's okay. Now to this side. You start from the top, so this way you can crossing over. The top. See? You always start from the top, the tip you can do the closing over. Everything's a stroke, it's not a line. You come to the end, you always do the heavier. Here. Now we use a little lighter ink to the back one. So sometimes we can even use light ink to go over the other one to show the depths of the depths of the leaves. Means to show there's more in the back. So just use light ink in between. Then you use a little dark ink to go over all the branch and the trunk to show the rough skin. And in the pine, you have to show the scale, right? But you don't have to show too clear when they're so small. Just but leave the nuts. Then you use a very light ink, still can shade a little more. The next thing we do is put the moss on the old tree, old trunk. Use dark ink, dark. Dot here, there, a little bit. So this way, not look too boring. So that's how we paint the pine tree. Thank you. Now I'm going to show you how to do the willow tree. Willow tree is just opposite to the pine tree. And it look like a little dragon, young dragon. But the willow tree, we describe them like one of the beautiful women in our history. Her name is Xi. And with the willow tree, with the soft branch, and they elongate the leaves. So they're very graceful dancing with the wind. So very pretty. And they grow by the little river. So that's come out, looks very pretty. So I'm going to show you how to do the willow tree. First, show you how if you do the contour style. So the leaves should like then you have to individual draw. That's a contour style take a long time. That's why even when they do a tree, then you imagine how long it's going to take it. So that's why every single leaf you have to draw like that. But when we do the regular one, we just draw the lines. just like that. So just draw this, practice draw the lines. Then same thing, we have the older branches. So suppose this is an old branch, and I told you before, the branch is a kind of soft branch, so they always bend. They always bend. So when we do the leaves, we just use darker ink. Just follow the young branch. Have to be same direction till they come down, right? Only when they have wind, they blow to different direction, but usually they just come down. You can go down this way and this way. Sometimes because they tall, they can go both ways. So that's how the leaves, the way they come off. Thank you. Now I'm going to start doing the willow tree. First, just like the others, I'm going to use light ink. Let it get all the outline down. So get shape down, then I use darker ink to go over with it. So now I use the darker ink to do the soft new branches. Then little light ink to the back one. Maybe extra in the back. Okay, now I do use darker ink to the leaves. So just start very close to you. The in between, you should be almost the same distance, same way apart. Taking closing over because this is in front. Then go to top. Then to the sometimes we can use the very light ink, go over, just show the dip of the, means some may be behind. Now when we do the trunk and all the branch, you can use a little darker ink to go over. Don't have to do the scale like the pine tree. Just show some places darker, some places maybe look a little older. This may be darker. Then I also can use a very light ink to go over. And last one is use the do the mosses. Use a dot. Just something growing there. The tree. So that's a finished day. Willow and the pine tree. So next week I will introduce the rock with different forms and shading, which are important to paint the mountains, slopes, paths, so all different locations. So it's very important for landscaping. Thank you for coming today. I'll see you next session.